Hello everyone, this is Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher. I'm back for another weekly Flosstube update. This is Flosstube number 39, I think, which is wild. I hope everyone has had a good last week of stitching, and I'm already really stumbling over my words today, so please forgive me. We just got back from dance and my son has therapy in about an hour, so I thought I've got all my stuff gathered and I'm just going to film a video. I have stitched on 3 whips this week and 2 new starts, and I have 1 FFO. Well, it's like a finish and an FFO. So I will show that first. And that is my With Thy Needle and Thread Home Sweet Home. I stitched this on 32 count. You guys, I never remember. I think it's called Buttermilk from Live and Die LA. I stitch it with 1 strand over 2 threads on 32. I think I said that. So I went to Michael's and I found this frame. It's a 4x6 frame, but it has a mat in it. So I take the mat out and it's perfect size. For my Tis Spring, it's in a similar frame, but just looks a little differently. It's more whitewashed light wood, and I thought I just liked the color of this darker wood for this one. It's actually, if you remember, it's the same frame that I used for my heartstring samplery finish, Go Tell It on the Mountain. So it's the same frame, but I just love the way that it looks in here. So I used some of the called for and some I subbed. I believe I went through all of the colors that I used in a previous video, and they're all put away. Sorry, they're all put away now, so I can't even remember what they are. I do remember that the berries and the red, I'm having like a hiccup problem. The berries and like the red was all in these flowers is all DMC. And I have a ton of reds in overdyed flosses, so I just subbed all the reds with overdyes. So there's no DMC in this chart. All of it is overdyed floss. And I love it. I love the way it looks just in time. I have never had anything displayed for the 4th of July, ever. So this is my first and only one. It's really exciting. I have a few other patriotic charts. I just have never stitched them or haven't gotten around to stitching them yet. So I feel very festive. I love it. So this gray is called for. I think these words are the called for as well, and the house is the called for color too. And that's the only ones I can recall that are called for. Possibly this blue is also a called for. Yeah, there it is. I love it. I wish I could have it displayed somewhere on here. I don't have any. I'm like in a window cubby. And there's a strange man walking in front of my house. Okay, so I'm just going to go through my whip pile here. I have, so my first, and this is never in any order. You guys know that by now, right? I don't do things in order. Okay, so the first new start I'm going to show you was I started this on Saturday. Oh, let me try. I always forget to turn the brightness up. And I started A Study in Nature from the Artsy Housewife. I bought the silk pack, the Vicki Clayton silk pack for this a few weeks ago, maybe a little longer, and I just could not stand it anymore. I wanted to start it so badly. And I know that the called for is stitched on a red fabric, but it's just, I don't know, it's just not my vibe, the red fabric. I just wasn't feeling it. And then Microbiologist Makes, she is stitching this on a brownish colored fabric. And when I saw it, I was like, yes, yes, I'm going to do that. So here are the silks. They are delicious. I'm loving stitching with them. They're so pretty. And so normally I store my silks, like I'll twist them up like this And then I think I showed you for my Consider the Lilies, I'll like snap them in a thread bed, but I only have one thread bed right now. So it's being used on my lily silks. So for now, these are just free floating in the breeze. And then I'll stick the key in a little, what are these called? Floss away bag, and just stick it on my ring. So there's no like hunting around for a paper. So I am stitching this on 40 count light nougat from Xjude Designs. And this is where I got. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So I started in the bottom left corner, as I do. And this thing is really big. So this is a big gal. This is just the bottom portion of like one side of the wing. This like the smaller section, you know, on like the bottom of a butterfly. And so the body isn't like until over here, and then this wing will come out like really far. But I love it. I love the way it's looking on this fabric. It's got kind of a reddish undertone, so we're getting the spirit of red, but we're not getting red. And I love it. I love it. I love it. This green is incredible. It's one color. This is one floss color. It's variegated that much, and it's just glorious. It's the same color that's right here. Oh, it's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. This will stay out probably for the next week because I do want to put some more into it. I'd like to get the top part of the wing like outlined at least before I set it down for a little bit. I was supposed to start this at Acorns and Threads with Rocio from Kokohama Stitchery, but I just couldn't wait. And she was like, it's okay, just bring it to work on. So I love it. I love it. Okay, how many times am I gonna say I love it? 500? Okay. All right, and my next new start, I had told you all in my last video I was going to start, and it is Moon Glow, or Moon Garden. I keep calling it Moon Glow. It's Moon Garden from Blackbird Designs. And I'm stitching this on 36 count 18th century rook from R&R with one strand over 2 threads. And I'm stitching this with all of the called for with one sub. And I didn't bring the threads up here, so I can't remember the name of it, but this is where I am on it. I am someone who struggles to stitch on darker colored fabrics. And this isn't even that dark, but I'm struggling. So I do, you know, a few letters and a little bit of border, and my eyes need a break already. I don't know what it is. I've tried readers. They help a little bit. I have a super bright light. I have natural light. Like I have all the lights. My eyes just don't want to see very good on anything darker than like what I just showed you on the butterfly. But the colors are turning out so good. Okay, so the change that I did make, you probably can't even tell because it's so subtle. So 2 of the called for colors is Buttermilk and Willow from the Gentle Art. And this yellow is Willow. And then these letters in here, a lot of them were supposed to be Buttermilk. And I started stitching with it and I was like, this is exactly the same. There's no difference in these colors. And I got annoyed that they were identical in color. So what I did was I switched out Buttermilk, which is a lot of these letters, and then there's some in the flower. I'm sure it's other places, but I switched it out with, I think it's called Lima Bean from Color and Cotton. And it's just a really pale, like you can barely tell that it's just pale green. It's a very light green. And I think it's different enough that you can tell, but not so different that you're like, whoa, you really fell far away from the pattern here. So all the others are called for. The pink is called Cameo Pink, and the other green, there's a darker green, and it is called Avocado. Yes. So there's my start on that. And yeah, it just gets a few letters at a time, but it's not that big of a chart. So this is as wide as it is. It's really little. So that's my other new start. And then a whip that I worked on. Is my Flights of Fancy Italian 1801. And this is being stitched on 40 count color and cotton. I'm having these hiccups. Color and cotton sugar cookie. And I'm stitching this with a full conversion of overdyes from Stash. So the last time you saw this, I had this little dude, and I think branches up to like here, just the top of his head. So I finished the tree. I think there's only one more little section of branches that comes up over this bird's head or up over the top of this bird's head. I can't remember. I couldn't count to it. So, and then I finished this grass, and there's another bird that's standing down here. And then I added these leaves. I think I added some of these leaves too, or maybe they were done. I think it was these ones. And then I added this bird. And then this bird's feet. This one is, it's so vintagey looking. Vintage vibes. It reminds me of something the contented needleworker would stitch if she hasn't already. She's got a lot of birds, but it's very vintagey looking. I love the way it's looking. I'm thinking, so it's only gonna get to be about this tall. I have a gold, like kind of ornate oval frame I'm thinking for it. That would really bring out the vintage feels. So I love it. So this bird's kind of greenish. This one's bluish. This one up here I think is also bluish. I can't remember. There's a mix. Oh wait, let's see. Oh, this one's brownish. Oh, there's 3 more birds left. Birds kind of take a long time. They're really confetti heavy. I have 3 birds left. I was thinking that's almost done. No. Okay, another whip I worked on is Feast of Friendship. I'm not gonna pull up the picture. You've seen it 1,000 times. My nutmeg warm hearth thread debacle has been solved. Okay, so I think it's here. These are the shutters that I had to do with the other substitute, and I mean, I don't think you can tell a difference. This one looks darker because it's surrounded by blue already. I don't think you can tell a difference. I was amazed that it matched so perfectly. I did have a lovely viewer reach out and offer me her skein of nutmeg, but I had already stitched these and I thought it looked decent, but I just thought it was so sweet of her. So whoever you were, I can't remember your name. Thank you so much for your offer. So now I'm down to just the, so it's just the blue. So there's this too is same blue and this is the same blue, but this is a gray. So I'm just down to filling in. I have to do the inside of the windows too. The color I had pulled from Stash, I started stitching with it and I didn't like how it was looking. So I need to just swap it for something else. But this one's staying out until it's done. It's a really good project for when we go down in the basement and watch our movie Wednesday afternoon movie. So it's gonna be done at some point. I should just, you know, pound it out, but there's so many things to stitch. What is that? What is that? It's like a slub coming through on my fabric. Look at that. I'm gonna have to pick it out. Annoying. So there's that. Feast of Friendship shall be done before the end of summer. That's the goal. Okay, and the other whip I worked on is my Sunday stitch, which is Consider the Lilies. Turn that off. And I didn't get a ton done on it this Sunday, only because I had started a study in nature the day before and really just wanted to keep working on it. So what I did was I started the words. In my last video, I had mentioned that Vicky so kindly sent me a different option for the thread here. I don't know if you can tell. It is equivalent to DMC 934. It's variegated, super dark greens all the way through. So I wanted to get that put in to see how I'd like it, and I love it. It's exactly what I was imagining. So that's all I did on this one, was just these words, and then I picked up Study Nature again. And I love it. I hope you can see that variegation in the green. It's so good. It's called Charred Past. Yeah. Okay, oh, and then I did have one other whip I worked on. And that was my Stacy Nash Spring Chickens Pin Keep. I'm stitching this on 46 count latte from XG Designs, and with all the called fors, except for the red. The red is not called for. I think it's different, but I can't remember. Okay, so last time you saw this, I had this chicken done and I was starting on this grass above her head. So I finished this grass here and I started on that fence. I have a hanging thread for the fence. I just like quit. And then I did this whole basket full of the eggs. I love it. I am so in love with that. It's like art. She just really knows how to chart. It's so good. This grass will lead to the coop. So I'm excited to get to the coop. Oh, I think I added a few more border flowers, maybe. This one's not filled in, it's just outlined, but is that not so good? Just this little scene right here. I love it. Makes me so happy. Okay, that is all of my whips that I worked on and my new starts. The first couple of days of last week was spent finishing, what's it called? Home Sweet Home. Otherwise, I probably would have another whip to show, but it's okay. I'm just glad I got the finish. Okay. Plans. I do have a few plans. Tomorrow, my friend Amy, her channel is called X Stitching and Adventures. She's coming to my house to do a little stitching morning with me. And I'm going to do a new start because why not? And let me grab it here. I am borrowing this chart from a friend, so I've already got my picture of it and it's put away. Because I borrowed charts. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it uploaded in my thing yet. I don't know what it is. Sometimes my iPad and my iPhone, like the same app, will sync over and sometimes it won't. It's really annoying. So sorry, I don't have the picture and I'm not gonna get up and go grab it. So I'll just tell you. It is Quaker Garden from Blackbird Designs. And I'm stitching it with, I think these are all the called for. I'm just missing the pink. There's a pink called for called Red Pear. And Amy's bringing it for me. She had one in her stash. This one is not called for, but it's so similar to the called for that it didn't matter. And I'm going to be stitching it on Be Stitch Me. This is a 36 count. Be Stitch Me in the color Willow. I think it's gonna be so pretty. I wish I had that chart out. Dang it. You'll see it in the next video. And if you really want to see it, Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher, finished it recently. It's probably been a month or more since she's finished it, but she's got a beautiful picture of it on her Instagram. And so yeah, I'm excited to start that one. It's not that big. I say that, you know, about these, and then we'll see how long it actually takes me to finish. And then I have another borrowed chart that I'm going to start when it comes to in the mail. It's supposed to come tomorrow in the mail, so I don't actually have it to show yet. My friend Raquel, her Instagram channel is Raquel Creates. She just finished, it's called Union Forever. It is a Blackbird Designs chart, a patriotic one. She just finished it and posted it on her Instagram, and it is gorgeous. I immediately was like, yo, can I stitch that? And she's so lovely. Love her. Sent it in the mail to me. So I just looked at her picture because I didn't have the chart yet. I just looked at her picture and picked colors based off of her picture out of my stash. I'm so excited to start this one. It is so pretty. I'm going to be stitching it on 36 count. What is this called? Ursula from Tropical Stitches. It's so pretty. It's just barely lightly modeled. And these are the colors I chose for it. I can go through them. I've got Color and Cotton Silver Lining, Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler, Color and Cotton Battleship, Weeks Dye Works Cocoa. This was a Color and Cotton gift thread, so it doesn't have a name. Color and Cotton Tusk and Color and Cotton Mint Julep. I'm so excited to use this one. Oh geez, I'm dropping them. And then Color and Cotton Lily Pad. I think they're gonna be so pretty. So as soon as that chart comes, I'm going to start it and have a second possibly display for a 4th of July for my house. Amazing. Who am I? And that is all my stitching plans. There will be whips pulled out, I'm sure. I'm just not sure which one I'm leaning towards yet. I really don't want to stitch on any of my holiday ones. Naughty, I know. They're just not, it's not something I want to stitch right now. When it comes July, I will pull out my Christmas ones for Jolly July. I have 3 Christmas whips. I have Stacy Nash, Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, and a Croquet Go-Go Winter Penguin, and the Soda Stitch Tree Bears. I think those are my only Christmas whips. But I will be starting another one in July. It's a borrowed chart from my lovely sweet friend, and it's called, I don't remember. I don't know where it is either. It's over here in my bin of kitted projects. It was a release from With Thy Needle and Thread. It was like a kit exclusive release earlier this year. It's just the like a snowman's like face, and he's like a bucket. It's so cute. It's this little one. So I'll be starting that in July. But otherwise, I'm hoping to touch all of my Christmas whips in July. I have thought about possibly this month getting my Dwelling Place out from Teresa Kogut. Where's that one? I think it's right here. I could show that because I haven't worked on this since I started it, or maybe even a few weeks after I started it. So that's Dwelling Place. I'm stitching this with my mother-in-law for her birthday, and Bernadette Burn Stitches joined us too. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Dirty Teacup from, what's it called? Needle and Flax. The most impossible place to get these fabrics. I don't know how I got so lucky and got a piece of this. So that's where I am in that. I love the bluegrass. So I might pull this out in the next week. Give it a little love. But whatever else I end up pulling out will be a surprise for both of us. Okay, that is all my stitching. I don't think I have any haul. She said for the first time in her entire life, there is no haul. What? Okay. No enabling you this time with my haul. So I'll just get straight into life. So it was Father's Day yesterday. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day. I hope all your fathers were celebrated in the way that they deserve. My husband asked for a leaf blower. So that's what he got. And he had a great time taking her out on her maiden voyage after he mowed the lawn. We had ribs and steak last night. Turf and turf. But it's fine by me. And then, let's see, we've been doing dance and the summer program with school, playing in the water a lot. The kids have been playing in the water a lot. I bought this splash pad thing that you hook the hose into, and it's like a ring of water that shoots up, and the inside kind of fills up, but it's only ever gets like that deep. They love it more than any like little kiddie pool or anything I've ever bought ever. They love that thing, which they can set up by themselves. So fine by me. And let's see, my 3-year-old, well, my almost 3-year-old, she turns 3 next month. We tried potty training. Did not go great. Did not go great. So I changed gears, and instead we took away her crib and put her in a twin bed, and she is now in a big girl bed, and I don't like it. I like it and I don't, but my gosh, getting rid of that crib was really hard. It was harder than I thought it was going to be. Just so many memories with it. Ugh, you know, it's like saying it's closing a life chapter, opening another one, but it's like I have to mourn in that life chapter of no more babies. No more babies. So, but she has done so great in the new bed. She loves it. Loves it, loves it, loves it. She's taken a nap every single day still, and she goes to sleep just fine and sleeps all night. She probably has the comfiest naps and sleeps of her life now on an actual mattress. I let her pick out a bedding set just on Amazon, one of those little kids ones, and it's unicorns, of course, and it's so cute, and she's so cute in it. So one step at a time. The bed has gone really well. And I did have a few people comment worried I was getting rid of nap time. No, 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 no. We will still have nap time. And even if she doesn't nap, there are a few quiet toys in her room if she hasn't gotten down out of the bed yet. But if she does, there are a few quiet books and puzzles and like a baby doll and a stuffed animal in there she can mess around with if she is so inclined. So far, she hasn't touched it. I do have a lock on her door on the outside. Our handles are those flat, long ones that you grab and turn this way. And I found a lock that just sticks on the door, and you like turn the things out so it can't move up and down. She hasn't even tried to get to the door yet, so probably unnecessary on my part, but can never be too prepared. But she's done great. She's doing great. So next step, we're phasing out the bottle. I know she still gets a bottle. Don't come for me. She still gets a milk. It's gotta be like last child syndrome where I'm just like so slow to get rid of these things. It's gotta be. But so far she's only getting it one time a day now. Like once that's gone all the way, then I think it'll be easier for potty training because she won't be, you know, needing to pee so much in the night. So we'll see. We'll see. Shows I've watched. Okay, I have kind of a lot. This makes me look so lazy. It doesn't make me look really lazy when I tell you all these. Look at all this TV I watch. Anyways, okay. I finished Anne with an E. I have had a lot of people commenting about how the PBS version is so much better. So I'm going to look into that. I don't know how I feel all the way about the Netflix version. I feel like it was really, really sad. Just like, I don't know. A lot of people were really cruel to her. And I know it was just kind of the times, but I don't know. It just felt really sad to me a lot of the time. And then like tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. When Mary died, like I was like, seriously, this show can't just go more than one episode with having like something terrible happen. So I'm going to look into the PBS version because I've heard it's much better. And I love PBS shows, so. Okay, and then I finished Bridgerton. And if you haven't finished it yet, close your ears. Maybe there will be spoilers. The last 4 episodes of Bridgerton were released last week, and overall, I will just say season 3 was a huge disappointment. There was too many plot lines. There was like 8 or more plot lines. It's too many. It's too many. This was supposed to be Colin and Penelope's story, and we got more Maldriches and Cressida and Benedict than Colin and Penelope combined. So I wasn't a fan of that. I hated how they did the the lady whistle down reveal. I hated it. I hated it. Spoilers. When the queen, who has been hunting for Lady Whistledown for 3 seasons, is finally like finding her and ousting her, and she just like confesses, like, yes, and has this dumb little speech that she does, and the queen's just like, okay, all right, it's fine. What was the build up for? It was all for naught. So, I wasn't a fan of all the added intimate scenes with Benedict's character. Didn't care for it. It's too much. We could have just done away with Benedict altogether this season. He added nothing to this season, and he had so much airtime. So, and then Netflix has said, sorry, it's going to be 2 years until the next season. And you've just lost me. You've lost me at this point. Season 3 was a train wreck. I have to wait 2 years for the next season. I'm done. I'm gone. I love season 1 and 2 and Queen Charlotte, and I'm done. I'm done with the rest of it. So it was extremely disappointing to finish that and have it be the way that it was. So I needed an old comfort show, and so I started Peaky Blinders. I love Peaky Blinders. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend. It's one of my favorite shows in the entire world. And Cillian Murphy, the guy who plays Tommy Shelby, he has now said in interviews that they are working on a Peaky Blinders movie. And all the cast, except Polly, obviously, all the cast are coming back for the movie. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, I love Peaky Blinders. So I'm rewatching that. My husband and I rewatched House of the Dragon last week because the new season premiered last night. So we watched the first episode, and it was so good. It was so good. I was so happy to see that they picked up like minutes like after the last season ended, so there was no like lag time. Oh, it was great. It ended and we looked at each other and we're like, what? No. It was so good. So I'm very much looking forward to that every week. And also streaming has spoiled me. Waiting a week for an episode, like it's horrible. It's the lowest form of torture. So since we had nothing to watch now, we started Deadliest Catch. It's that crab fishing show. It was probably been 2 years now that we rewatched all of the seasons from the beginning. And then we just got tired and didn't. I think our last season we watched was 2022. So we hadn't watched 2023 or 2024 yet. So we started at 2023 and we started watching that, and we just like that show. It's one of our shows that we like to watch. So we started that. I watched a documentary on Netflix called Dance for the Devil, and I thought it was gonna be about that Dance Moms show. What's that lady, Abby, the owner of that studio? But it wasn't. It's about this cult, Shekinah, in California. Basically, this guy's recruited like dancers, and they make like a bunch of money on Instagram and the socials, and they cut off their families and like all that. It was really interesting and sad, but cult documentaries are really fascinating to me. And then for our movie Wednesday last week, we watched Jumanji. My kids had never seen Jumanji, and they were a little scared at the beginning. I remember being a little bit scared of Jumanji when I was little, but it had been, oh my gosh, 2 decades since I watched that movie, and it was fun. I love Robin Williams, a treasure. I have so many Robin Williams movies on my list for us to watch. And the week before, I'd forgotten to mention, we watched Ferngully. And I remember being really scared of that movie when I was younger, and then I'm watching it as an adult. I'm like, what was so scary? And my kids weren't scared of it. They're like, okay. But they have liked both the movies. The one I'm still trying to decide what we're gonna watch this week. I really want to watch Matilda, but it's not on any streaming, but it is coming to Netflix on July 1st. So we'll watch that next week when it comes out. The next time when it's available, we'll watch that. And I want to watch Hook, which was one of my favorite childhood movies, but it's not streaming anywhere. It is so annoying to me when this happens. I have like 58,000 streaming channels and it's not on any of them, of course. So we'll see. We'll see what we end up watching. Yeah. So, I had a question and I said I would address it in this video. Someone asked me what my stitching schedule is, like how much I can stitch, like what's my timeline of stitching in a day. And so I thought I'd just share if someone is interested, obviously. So I don't usually stitch before noon. My 3-year-old is awake and it's too hard to stitch when she's awake. So we usually come upstairs and I will make project bags, because that's fine. That's easy to do. She just runs around. So I'll make project bags usually the first half of the day if I've got any to make. And then we have lunch and she goes down for her nap. And that's when I get majority of my stitching time is nap time. So from like 1 to 3:30 is when I get a lot of my stitching time of the day. And then she's up, time to get kids, time to go do all of our activities and dinner and everything. And then, so I don't usually get to stitch again until like 7 at night. So then I'll stitch from, and it's interrupted because we put the youngest one to bed between 7 and 7:30 and then the older two to bed around 8. And so it's like, I'm stopping, starting. And then from 8 to 9 is usually my solid, like uninterrupted 1 hour. My husband and I watch whatever show we're watching and I can stitch. So that's usually what my schedule looks like. Depending on how busy we are in a day's, changes. On the weekends, I get less stitching time than during the week because everybody's home. Everybody needs something. Like we're sitting outside and I don't enjoy stitching outside. So I get a lot less stitching done. I've been reading. I actually started reading the first Bridgerton book. I think it's called The Duke and I. They're on Kindle Unlimited if you have it. I'd never read the books and I thought, the show just tanked itself for me. So I'm going to try the books and it's so good. Why have I never read these books? It is so good. I'm only like 20% in on the first one. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So anyways, there's one thing I have been wanting to show everybody. Back in February, I had ordered a cross-stitching lap stand from Dubco. They're based in Russia. I'd ordered it and let's see, I think it was the second week of February I ordered it and it came while I was at Stitch West in April. So like 8 weeks later. Not even. Yeah, like 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks. And so the reason I haven't shown you is because I wanted to test it really well before I could give a review of it. And then something, I think Dubco, I don't know what's going on. I know like the war is probably the reason behind this, but Dubco is no longer selling to the United States through their old website where I ordered my lap stand, and I have a Dubco table stand right here. They are selling through a website called W Stands, and so I've been torn on showing it because the prices they're selling them for on W Stands is 3 times more than what I paid for my stand when I ordered it straight through Dubco. And it's really upsetting to me that that's the direction that they've gone. Maybe in the future they'll go back to distributing themselves. In the future, if the war ends over there, I'm not sure. So I thought I would still show it because it's a beautiful piece and I do love it. If you come into like a cool, if you find a money tree somewhere and you just have it to burn, like maybe you want to get it. I don't know. So this is what it looks like. It is I got the lap stand, and I got the frog attachment because it can hold wider hoops, and it's supposed to hold a Q-snap. I haven't tried a Q-snap yet though. So you sit with it like this, and this part goes underneath your thighs, and it can raise up. It works by pressure. So you have this lever here, and it raises up the head. It can go, you know, pretty dang high. And then this lever on this side raises this part up and down. And then this is the frog head, which makes it so I can turn like this if I need to. So standard, these frames come with a smaller clamp. They're about this wide and they're straight across. I added the piece that came with my frog head, which is longer, so I shove one corner of my hoop up here and it just feels more snug to me. The other way is just fine too, but this is supposed to fit Q-snaps. If I want to fit a Q-snap, I just take one of these blocks out so it opens wider. But so I have been using this for the past few months, trying to get a really accurate review for you guys. And I've stitched with it outside, I've stitched with it on the couch, multiple different couches, and I will say that I love it. I love it so much. What I paid for it, hands down 1,000 times worth it. What they're wanting for it on this new website, I would not pay for that, because there are other options that are way more affordable that do the same thing. So I will say that. But I've been using this, you know, every Wednesday, especially down in the basement. I clamp a light to this top right here, and it's just perfect. It's perfect for me. I also use it in my bed when I do, okay, because I do Zoom calls in my bed. If you've been on a Zoom call with me, you've seen my bed. And it is fantastic for stitching in my bed. Like I do love it, and I think it's an art piece. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of craftsmanship. I will say that. So didn't think it was fair to not show it, but again, I'm just really disappointed in the direction the company has taken with distributing to the United States. So that's all I'll say about that. And that is all I have to say about all of it. I finished. I will see you in a week, and I hope I have a lot of stitching to show, and I hope you get all the stitching time that you want. Thanks again for coming and watching my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.